Good morning, good afternoon, YouTube. I hope you're all doing fantastic. Before the video starts, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. 98% of the people that are watching my videos are not subscribed. It's free and it helps me out immensely, and I will love you forever. I will have your babies. Please hit that subscribe button. Alright, let's get into it. Today we're going to be doing a tutorial on weapon passives and the talents that you get on them. And my opinion, again, this is my opinion. You could have a different opinion. But my opinion, whether it's good for PvE, PvP, or good in general. There's a lot of guns out there that people use that are not very good. I'm being completely honest with you. I am going to be biased. Again, this is just my opinion.
Find a place to wash up soon.
My character needs to shut up. But let's get into it. We're going to go over level 70 and below guns right now, because that'll be next. Of course, we're in a lock right now. So, I have to wait 9 days until we can actually hit level 70, but that's fine. So for right now, we'll do the HK. The HK is very, very, very good in my opinion. There's not much recoil. It's like a laser beam. I will say the damage is kind of a little lackluster, but it still has that decent amount. In my opinion, the AK does have the best damage in the game, but we will go over that shortly. But for the passive for the HK is any valid hit on an enemy increases damage dealt by 3.7% and damage reduction by 3.7 for 8 seconds, and it has a 12-second cooldown. Now, that is really good for PvP and PvE somewhat. It's not the best for PvE. It's probably better for PvP, in my opinion. I personally don't like it, though. If you can get used to recoils on different guns and whatnot that have insane recoil, and you can get used to it, there are better guns out there. But this is probably high B, low A tier gun, in my opinion. Now, the AK, my favorite gun in the game, and a lot of players' favorite guns. I'm sure this is the most commonly used gun in the game, honestly. The damage output on this gun is insane. Highest damage in the game, other than the other AK variants. Because I think they have the same, but the passives are different. But the damage on it is very, very good. The recoil, however, is not so good. This is one of those guns that in pretty much any game you play, the recoil kicks like a bitch. But if you can sit there and you can learn the recoil and control the recoil, you will be able to laser people down. If you watch some of my other videos, you see me. Whether it be Astral or PvP or whatever, I kind of, once I get them in my line of sights, yes, I kind of go up a little bit, but I, can bring it back and just hit them. The passive on this gun is one of the best in the game. Hitting an enemy's weak point causes bleeding with 66.6% base damage per second and also slows them for 25.9%. This lasts for 3 seconds. So for 3 seconds, they're taking 66.6% of the base damage of the gun damage-wise, and they're slowed for basically 26%. That slow gives you time to kill that person. And of course, with this type of gun, with the weak point being their head. So if you hit them in the head once, this activates on them. So that is really good, and it only has a cooldown of 3 or 5 seconds. So every 5 seconds, pretty much, you can proc this on an enemy, as long as you're hitting their weak point, which would be their head. I find this to be one of the best PvP and PvE guns. Hands down. No argument. So in my opinion, this would be a high A tier, an S tier. So S A tier. Again, in my personal opinion, probably the best gun in the game. Next, we have the MPX. I do not like this gun, even though it shoots, the recoil's not bad. But I personally do not like it, and the passive isn't that good. It's not good for PvP or PvE. Reduces the energy cost of sprints and rolls by 22.2% when this weapon is equipped. I don't find that useful. At this point in the game, you're going to already have a lot of energy and whatnots, and you have the reductions from your skills and stuff like that. Overall, it's not a great weapon. Again, yes, it shoots pretty much straight, but damage output-wise, not the best. In my opinion, this is probably a D tier weapon, maybe a low C tier. The M3 shotgun. Again, one of those types of guns, I personally don't like it. I don't find it very good. I mean, I've seen people out there, there's only a couple out there, but if you can get in someone's face and you can land every shot, you'll down someone in 2-3 hits. So, if you get used to it and whatnot, it is fantastic. Other than that, though, it's kind of lackluster. The passive on it, or the talent, is when at least 5 pieces of shrapnel hit, you receive 5.3% skill strength, 1.4% max HP per second for 3 seconds. That's pretty good. However, the cooldown is 25 seconds. So, like in a PvP match, you're really only going to get it once. You're only going to get use out of the talent one time. So again, this would probably be a D tier, a C tier gun. Sniper rifles? Okay. If you're going to run sniper rifles, do not use one like this. Do not use it as your main weapon. Just use the sniping expertise one. Just use that sniper. Snipers in this game as a main weapon are going to get you killed. The fire rate is very slow. The reload rate is very slow. Maybe if they put it like a DMR or something in the game, like something like that, it would be worth it. But even then, that wouldn't really be a sniper rifle. But just kind of everything about it is kind of lackluster. And again, you get a better sniper if you just go with the sniper expertise. So in my opinion, this is another D-C tier. Probably D tier, honestly. I'd say all snipers are D tiers. We're not really going to go over these because they don't really have passives. Now, another AK. And a lot of people say that they like this AK, and that's fine. Because the recoil on this AK is like non-existent. Like, if you want easy recoil, this is the gun to go. Plus, the damage is not bad. Additional 24% damage caused by armor pierce or armored enemies. Or 2 armored enemies. Now, this will help a lot in PvE. Because you run into the purple enemies and stuff like that. It helps a lot in PvE. In PvP, it will help up until you destroy their armor. But again, there are better talents out there. Yes, the damage is pretty good on it. The fire rate is okay. So it's not a bad gun. But in my opinion, the AK-47 again is top dog. So in my opinion, this gun is probably a B tier. Next up, we have the new gun that's coming out once we hit 70, which is the CZ762. Now, damage is okay. Fire rate is okay. I don't know how the recoil is because we have not been able to use it. However, the passive is not for PvP. It is a strictly PvP gun. People are saying that this gun is going to be meta. In my opinion, this gun is going to be meta for PvE only. Main reason being the talent is heavy weapon reload speed is boosted by 37% for 15 seconds when a critical hit is dealt. That's it. That's the passive on it. If it was some type of damage or some type of recoil control or something like that, I would say it would be better. But again, I find this to be probably a meta PvE gun, hands down. So in my opinion, this is probably a low B tier, medium B tier gun. Now the Bison. We are actually trying out the Bison today, live on stream. The Bison, as I've been told, is extremely good. It takes time to get used to, so if you're going to try and run it and whatnot, give it about a day. Run it for a day. Do not switch your guns. Even if your mind tells you to switch your gun, do not. Get used to everything on it. Main reason being, damage output is not very high. I mean, it's decent, but the talent on it is really good. The fire rate is really good, and the magazine size is really freaking good. Now, the talent on it is damage by 11.8% for 2 seconds when hitting targets within 18 meters. This gun is great for PvP and PvE. Main reason being, if you're a hyper-aggressive player, you're going to be in their face. You're going to be within 18 meters. If you have this out and you hit them once, you get that 11.8% for 2 seconds. That's insane. Plus, the cooldown on it is only 5 seconds. It is very, very, very good. Again, I'm not going to go over the rest of the sniper rifles. I'm not going to go over the heavies either, because they just kind of go talk themselves. So we got the Vector, the Origin, and the light machine gun, the M249. So the Vector, the kick on it is once you start firing, it actually kind of kicks a little bit. You can control it fairly easy, but it does take some time to get used to. Damage is pretty good, rate of fire is insane, and the magazine size is okay. And the talent on it is increases skill strength by 14.8% when this damage or when this weapon is equipped. So it's not bad, but I wouldn't say it's the best. But I would give it probably B tier, maybe A minus, low A tier. But yeah, definitely B tier. The Origin, I thought was actually going to be really good because the talent on it is increases damage dealt by 7.6% when hitting targets within 7 meters. However, you have to be up in their face. Again, if you're a hyper-aggressive player, it kind of works. But from what I've seen, people aren't very good with it. Like, it's not as good as I thought it would be. Damage is kind of lackluster. Rate of fire is kind of lackluster. Yes, the magazine size is nice, but all in all, probably low B tier. Again, all the snipers, I say they're D tier, just because they're not fire fast rate. They're not fire rate is not fast, and their magazine size isn't fast, and the reload is pretty slow. So I don't like them. And finally, last but not least, is the M249. This is actually a very good gun. A lot of people actually use it. It hasn't been used recently because the Bison has been meta. But decent damage. The fire rate is pretty insane. It's one of the faster, I mean, it's the fastest light machine gun because it's only a light machine gun right now. And the magazine size is very good. The reload on it is pretty slow, though. So I will say you got to watch out for that. But the talent on it is increases your damage by 2.2% for 2 seconds each time you hit. Can be activated once every 0.5 seconds and stacks up to 3 times. There is no cooldown on it. Or there might be, but they forgot to put it. So the fact that you can get... Okay, wait. For 2 seconds, and then can be activated up to 3 times. So you get 6.6% extra damage when you're firing. That's pretty insane. Again, I'd probably give it a low A, B tier. But yeah, again, my opinion, I'm trying out the Bison today, so I'll be able to post in the comments what I think about it. But the AK-47, overall, for PvP and PvE, best gun in the game. Again, my opinion, but if you find this video helpful, please don't forget, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys want to see. Any other walkthroughs or anything like that, I'm more than willing to listen, and I'll go ahead and try and do what I can. Unless it's a building walkthrough, then it's not happening. But I love you all, I appreciate you all, and have a great day, YouTube.